Anyone who's been following me knows I don't have a carry gun. I have a rotation of carry guns. I did a video about my current rotation and why, titled Top 5 Concealed Carry Gun Rotations about a year ago. But I think I want to add one. You see, the FN57 is my favorite handgun that shoots the 5.7 by 28 millimeter round, with the Ruger 57 being a very close second. For as long as I've had my FN57, I've flirted with the idea of making it part of my carry rotation, but never really pulled the trigger. Pun intended. Before you finish watching this video, a word from our sponsor. Have you ever thought about making a living in the firearms industry? If you enjoy gun repair, ballistics, and learning about firearms, Sonoran Desert Institute's online courses might just be a good fit for you. To find out more, visit sdi.edu or call 480-999-4767 today. Then FN flew me out to be a part of the release of the second generation 5.7, where I spent 3 days shooting an extensive number of rounds through the Gen 2 FN57. Then when they sent me the Gen 2 version so that I can use it on my own, I continued shooting it like crazy, basically turning the Gen 1 into a safe queen. So after years of ownership and a lot of fired rounds, I'm seriously considering making the FN 5.7 one of my go-to concealed carry guns. And here are 5 reasons why. Number 1. The 5.7 by 28 millimeter round. You see, the only reason the 5.7 by 28 millimeter round exists is because in 1989, NATO wanted to replace the 9mm with a round that had better accuracy, greater range, higher capacity, and equal or better terminal performance than the 9mm, and had armor penetrating capabilities. A year later, FN made the 5.7 by 28mm, and it basically did everything NATO asked. You see, the 5.7 by 28 is almost 2 times faster than the 9mm. It also shoots flatter, where at 200 yards, the 9mm would drop about 30 inches. The 5.7 by 28 drops only 2.5 inches. Granted, that's out of a longer barrel. That said, the 5.7 by 28mm hits with around 66% of the energy of the 9mm, but the 5.7 by 28, being a small round, moving really fast, arguably means more shock to the system than the 9mm, which moves a lot slower. You see, essentially, the 9mm is like throwing a small rock, and the 5.7 by 28mm is like launching a mini spear, which makes sense because the 5.7 by 28 looks like a mini rifle round. Oh, and because I shoot a lot and thus I'm concerned about minimizing my lead exposure, the fact that 5.7 by 28 is lead free is an added bonus. Then there's the versatility of ammo as well. You can get them in various degrees for various reasons, whether it be plinking, self-defense, and also armor penetrating, which aren't really available to the public, so that's kind of moot. Reason number 2, capacity. For those who don't know, 6 years ago, I came out of the closet as an ammosexual.
What's going on, folks? It's Colion Noir. As of late, for you guys following me, you notice that I've kind of had a couple of things really heavy on my mind. And with all the support you guys have been giving me all these years, I felt it was only right for me to come out and share with you guys what I've been dealing with and get it off my chest. You guys' support have really meant a lot to me over the years, so I figure it's time for me to stop lying and live in the secret that I've been living for several years now. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm an ammosexual. So there it is.
As an ammosexual, I'm obsessed with capacity, and for a gun that's roughly the same size as a Glock 17, I can't help but get giddy about having 20 rounds of little spears in a magazine that fits flush with the gun. And the third reason is shootability. To me, the FN57 recoils about 20 to 30% lighter than other 9mm handguns that are the same size. It also shoots incredibly flat. This means it takes less effort on my part to be accurate with this gun. I can dump rounds on a target with such ease, it feels like I'm cheating. The only 9mm gun that gives me that kind of confidence is a 2011. And reason number 4, concealability. The fourth reason I'm seriously considering the FN57 as one of my go-to carry guns is its concealability. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying the FN57 is an easy gun to conceal, but with modern advancements in holsters, like this Flextron holster from Insane Kydex Creation, who I had made this holster specifically for my Gen 2 5.7, it makes it a lot easier compared to holster options of the past when the 5.7 was available. The 5.7 is also really light. So even with its size and 20 rounds, it's still a lot lighter than most of my 9mm carry guns, and that makes carrying the gun a lot more enjoyable. The 5.7 is also not a very thick gun, and the Gen 2 has a flatter profile, so it lays flatter against the body, improving its ability to be concealed. And the fifth and final reason, reliability. You see, the last reason I'm considering the 5.7 is reliability. It's nutty how reliable my Gen 1 and Gen 2 have been. Out of the thousands and thousands of rounds I've shot through these guns, I can't recall one malfunction, not one. Now, I'll admit, I don't have the greatest memory in the world, but I'd recall any reliability issues if there were any, and I simply can't. There's one more reason I'm considering the 5.7 as a go-to carry gun, but I didn't include it in the 5 because it won't be that important to other people, but it's important to me. The X factor. The 5.7 is undeniably a cool gun, and I love the way it looks and feels in hand, and it's the OG 5.7 handgun. Then there's the increase in aftermarket parts for it. Now with the Gen 2's better ergonomics and the ability to put a red dot on it, it just adds to that X factor that I don't think other 5.7 guns quite have. Yes, it's expensive, but the price is worth it to me. If FN hadn't sent me this one, I would have bought it myself anyway. I like carrying guns that I genuinely enjoy shooting, not just shooting because it's my carry gun and I should train with my carry gun. I'm talking it's a nice day and I want to go to the gun range and shoot for the fun of it. The FN57 is that type of gun for me, and why it's more likely than not going to become one of my mainstays in my carry gun rotation.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.